I wonder if that song is kind of maddening to listen to for 8 minutes. Sorry it took a little while. But, hello. It's time to stream. Welcome. Last time we left off right outside the Stone Vigil. The next dungeon that we need to do. But here's the thing. It turns out that dungeons you haven't done yet can be chosen by duty roulette. So I accidentally already did it. And I was quite distressed by this. Because I'm very easy to make distressed. However, also, it's not difficult to replay dungeons and review cutscenes that you've already seen. In most cases. So it should be fine. It'll just seem a little bit weird. I accidentally pressed the escape key using my glass of water. And also some pants that I had on sale sold immediately as I logged in. That's kind of funny. Alright. Free pants money. That's not free at all. Sure. So what we're going to do is just sit here and sign up for the Stone Vigil. And wait for a bit. As you do. Everyone's favorite part, waiting in line, as I say every time. While we're here, I guess we can look at this rabbit. The unlucky rabbit is a good minion. Even though the description and the hidden text for the minion that all minions have is a bit strange, because it goes on about how this rabbit was used as the mascot for a competing thing before legal rights and whatnot. I don't know. And then the hidden text is just like, haha, rabbits sure do breed a lot. All that aside, it's a good rabbit. I don't think I can interact with it. There are some pets that you can like interact with directly. There are some pets that you can only interact with if you have a certain title equipped, which I think is the only title in the game that specifically does something, which is interesting. That would be pretty great, honestly. Furthermore, one of the dungeons should just be a theme park. Clearly I should stream Roller Coaster Tycoon, which I don't think I was ever good at, actually. The reason we're waiting in the inn, by the way, is because this over here, the unending journey, is how you can view cutscenes that you've already seen. So once we're done with the dungeon, we will have to be accessing this. Sandbox mode is also a thing. I guess we can dungeon while we dungeon. Right? Key is required to proceed. There's mechanics to this? I don't think you get anything out of these minigames. Also, I have difficulty processing this map sometimes. intense concentration. I also don't know, like, if this has an ending. It does list a best time. So that would imply that it does. Absolutely agreed. That would be funny. I just realized that they call it Cheap Dungeon because it's a joke about how they have a thing called Deep Dungeon. And it's in the deep... The title that says Cheap Dungeon over there is in the font that Deep Dungeon is written in otherwise. That's the joke. I found out what the joke was. This floor sucks. What do you want from me? This would be better if you didn't have to, like, turn around, but I understand what they're doing here. Like, this can't... Is there any way to get that? What am I missing here? Oh, there's a path here. No. There's a path here. It's really difficult to see where the paths are, is the thing. Can I... Wait. I can't see anywhere I can go that would not be locked off. Unless this, like, wraps around? It doesn't. Like, I'm just exploring every square at this point. Even though that won't help. Like, what? I literally don't see anywhere I can go, is the thing. Because it's really difficult to see the lines. Oh wait, I can just go past the staircase. I'm foolish. Unless this leads nowhere, and then I'm not foolish anymore. It doesn't go anywhere still. Except you can go this way. God dang it. What if I just moonwalk through this maze? Out of spite. Well, never mind. Cheap Dungeon's over. Maybe I could have gotten somewhere if I realized that you could go through stairs. Anyway. Usually I have an option enabled that makes it so that cutscenes you've already seen are automatically skipped. But I turned it off so that we could see these. Welcome to the Stone Vigil. There's a dragon in it. Just one. That's a lie. There's multiple. Our party today is Ardwin Leander, Roderick Burb, and Vex Tempest. One of these days I'm going to get a party that I don't want to say out loud when I introduce the people who are in our random dungeons. And that day is probably going to be the next time I do a random dungeon, statistically speaking. I do love Dancer though, by the way. It feels very nice to play Dancer for me. However, I don't really know if it feels like it fits Sutro. Not that she has a super established character outside of vague things in my brain that I haven't been able to put to words yet. But like, I don't know. Feels good to play, don't know if it feels correct for the character. Which is impacting my opinion on it a little bit. That said, the other class that I want to try is not in a state that I want to try right now. I'm interested in Summoner, but only once it gets changed in Endwalker. That's true. You're right, it does fit in that sense. Dancer is very flashy as well, like the visual effects. I have the game set so that you can't see the visual effects like used by other party members, so you can only see Dancer stuff right now. Because otherwise it gets visually overwhelming, especially in larger parties. But like even so, you can see that the Dancer effects are very bright and like loud. I don't mind it. I think it's kind of neat. It's just something that's like really noticeable. Now we get to the first boss of the dungeon. Chudo-Yudo, which sounds like a Pokemon. A very specific Pokemon, actually. It's Pseudo-Ludo, if you didn't remember. This guy's gimmick is don't stand in front of him unless you're the tank, I think. Like, he does this thing called Swinge, which I think is a big old cleave. And then he also breathes fire, and I stood in it because I'm very smart and good at video games. think Swinge shows up somewhere else too, actually. Yeah, you're right. Now that you phrase it that way. Oh, that's arm's length. I thought I was doing in avant because I forgot what icons were, and also I don't even have in avant yet at this level. On the avant is actually probably how you say it. I'm somehow on fire again. You get this at like level 50, yeah, okay. I guess swinge is just a word that they like a lot at the localization booth zone area. I think I just like leaned out of my frame. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to break out of your computer. I wonder why people so readily throw away items that they find in lower level dungeons, because it's really easy to exchange them for company seals, which in turn have a bunch of really easy to figure out uses. I mean, I guess after a certain point you get tired of bothering. That's true. A swinge sounds like an action that, like, a chinchilla or a hedgehog or something would take, maybe. Bunnies do a binky, corgis do a sploot, chinchillas swinge. So don't stand in front of a chinchilla or you might get cleaved, is what I'm saying. Very dangerous animal, always underestimated. I mean, you shouldn't underestimate a chinchilla. If they use a multi-hit move, depending on the ability that they have, it might always hit the maximum number of possible times. You have to be careful. I wonder what Peloton is, like, the word Peloton? I've never looked it up. I wonder what it is or what it's derived from. In this game, it's AoE effect that ranged physical DPS classes can do that boosts everyone's out of combat movement speed. But I don't know what that translates into as far as like an actual word. The other thing about Dancer is that I feel like the character doing all of these dance moves would get extremely dizzy really quickly. Like, I found myself getting a little dizzy if I focus on what Suko is doing during these attacks. Like, there's always spinning. There's a lot of spinning. I was only getting a very slight bit of dizziness. But, like, seriously though. Lots of spinning. Here's some fire. Here's a boss fight. The gimmick of this boss fight is that there's cannons over here, and another dragon will try to attack you while you're fighting this boss. And you gotta use the cannon on the dragon over there. Soon these cannons will be activatable. Yep. I don't think it's possible to shoot that other dragon before it gets an attack. You just need to shoot it before it can get more than one. I've apparently put myself on cannon duty. I want to say that this is like traditionally the healer's job, if there is indeed a tradition. Stop descending from the skies, Iskabines. Go away. At this point of the game's life, like many bosses, things die quicker than they were originally supposed to. So you don't need to concern yourself with mechanics as much for a while. In fact, as you can see from the text there, the dragon that you used the cannons on was supposed to descend an additional time, and almost did, but the boss fight ended before it could. The amount that mechanics don't matter in a lot of situations might become evident by the time we get to like Crystal Tower, which is a raid series that you now have to do because it becomes relevant to the story. Some of the mechanics in that still kind of matter, but not nearly as much. And most people just go in without knowing anything about what they're doing, even though some of the things that they were supposed to do originally are very specific. Also, I'm dying. I'm died. Tank fell over. Oops. This happened a few times the other time I did this as well. Right when I'm talking about how everyone is so powerful now that you can not have to think, we just died to a random encounter by accident. Well, not a random encounter. It's preset, of course. A normal enemy encounter, I should say. But that can always happen if people are too overeager to rush through and pull every enemy. That's not so much a mechanic thing as like knowing the limits of you and your party members. I pressed the wrong button. Thankfully, if you press the wrong button when dancing, it doesn't matter because you can just press the right button after it. It does make you take a little bit of extra time doing the dance though. So like it does matter in a sense, but not as much as it could. I should also mention, maybe, that the way the dance works is like it's a big finisher move that hits all around you, but for each target it hits, it does less damage, like to each successive target. Like it'll do the full hit to the first target it hits, and then a smaller hit to the next one, and so on. So it's not completely ridiculous, it's just mostly ridiculous. Like it did 816 to one of the dragons here, and then 215 or so to the other two. Conversely, my basic AoE attacks do the same amount of damage to everything that they hit. Like the same range of damage, at least. They're also maybe like the easiest ranged like AoE attacks to use. For the other two ranged DPS classes, they hit in cones in front of them. Anyway, time to see if people let me watch this cutscene that happens here. Actually, it seems like I'm actually missing part of the cutscene, and there's actually... Okay, that's a problem. So, there is a cutscene in the Stone Vigil that we can't rewatch, is what I'm learning here. So that sucks, and I made a mistake. Turns out I really did screw up, and now we won't be able to see something. The cutscene basically amounts to Sid and Alphino follow you in, And they're like, hey look, the airship that we want is over there. And it is. And then they're like, but there sure is a big old dragon sleeping in front of it. Hey main character, why don't you deal with the dragon while we get the airship? And then that happens. I'm pretty sure there's no way to rewatch that one, it would seem. Because that was a different cutscene just for introducing the boss instead of the whole plot thing. That's unfortunate. It wasn't anything super groundbreaking, I suppose, but I'm still going to be upset at myself for it. A little bit. I believe the other cutscenes that are more important are visible through the book of looking at cutscene. Now the dragon's gonna fly around again. By the way, there's going to be a lot of dragons in this game. That AoE is difficult to see sometimes, but don't be in it. Now you're going to do another one. It's over here. Everyone's getting hit by that. 2 people are getting hit by that. And now the dragon lands. I think the dragon landing also does damage, which is pretty funny. Don't get landed on. Seems like the other DPS doesn't want it, so it's my chance to use Big Shot. Oh, it didn't. It didn't quite kill, but it mostly killed. Alright, now I think... Is this just going to be the dragon dying? Or am I going to get the full thing that's supposed to be here? Or is that... God, I hope we can see the other thing. Because that one's pretty important. Let me commend you before you flee, fools. Well, I guess the ninja gets a commendation. As do I. Alright, it would seem that... Okay, let's take a look here. So this shows all the cutscenes. We can go here to... Stone Vigil. And we can see cutscene 1. I think that's just the intro to the dungeon, but let's check just to be sure. Seems to be, but maybe if I let it keep going. Gotta love these fly-throughs, though. Jump scare again. Is it just gonna be Sucro standing there and, like, nobody else in the party? Probably. Yep. Sucro soloed this dungeon all by herself. Good job, Sucro. Oh, there are multiple cutscenes. Maybe I will be able to see all of them. What's cutscene 2? Is it... It's just gonna be this, so... Well, gee, I hope cutscene 3 is something, then. Don't just be the regular dragon dying, be the actual story, please. It's just the... Are you serious? Am I actually going to miss out on everything? Oh boy, I really beefed it, huh? Alright, is there a... Can I look at this in the story somewhere? Like, no... Like, what? Come on. This fucking sucks. This sucks ass. There's a lot of shit that's bad here. So, let this be a lesson to everybody that the unending journey sucks and is useless. And a significant story event that happened... What's bad? So, yesterday when I did the roulette to do a random dungeon, it just threw me into the dungeon I hadn't done yet, which included several cutscenes. And I was freaking out for a bit, and then I was like, okay, it'll be fine if I just do the dungeon again and then look at the cutscene thing. And it turns out that doing the dungeon again and the cutscene thing do not contain the cutscenes that were shown to me. So they're completely unwatchable, even though they were story significant, and I cannot show them to you in any way. Because if I just go to this cutscene thing and go to the dungeon that we just did that had the cutscenes in it, it just shows me the intro to the dungeon, the intro to the final boss, and the final boss dying, and nothing that happened before or after the final boss dying that was in the original run. So I have to try and summarize it. So what happens when you get there is, like I said, Alphino and Sid are like, wow, that's a cool boat over there. It's the boat that we wanted. You should deal with this sleeping dragon that's in front of it while we get the boat. And then you do. And then after that, it has one of those scenes where there's an elemental crystal sitting on the ground that dropped the ice crystal. And you pick it up and you go to the sacred realm. And the ice crystal lights up. And then Alphino's like, hey, are you fine? You sort of like spaced out for a while, but we got this cool boat now. And then Sid is like, I'm going to fix the boat. And he fixes the boat. And he's like, this feels really familiar. And like, I know what this boat is, but I'm not sure yet, because I still have amnesia. Let's go to Gridania. And then you go to Gridania. And I delivered it a lot less interestingly than it would deliver itself if it were allowed to, but it's not. Because this game has a flaw in it, I've learned today. So, I'm annoyed. I'm gonna sulk emote at this stupid book. Stupid garbage, useless book. Garbage. I'm gonna destroy it with my cool dance moves. Bah humbug. Just... the fact that we can't re-watch one of the You Got a Crystal cutscenes, which is like a really important story beat every time it happens, it's kind of rubbish. It's just bad. Why? Why Final Fantasy XIV? Anyway. The next main quest is, I mean, there is some of our D&D in the Sid thing, because Radna does have amnesia problems. Not necessarily amnesia, because her memory was stolen more than, like, lost. And she does remember things sometimes. Before we get to the next story quest, though, Supro has been promoted significantly. And there's this whole side mechanic once you get promoted enough where you get to have a squadron of your own. Which can have up to 8 people, I believe. And we currently have 5 in here. So you have your own little barracks, you have your group of people. Okay, we have 6, actually. So there's a bunch of different recruits that you can get in various ways. When you do entries in your challenge log, there's always a chance that a new recruit will sign up, and then you can review enlistment papers and choose to recruit them. These are just like the first people I got. You start with 3 who I don't know if they're random or not, and then since them I recruited Careless Whisper here, Gota'a, and Toragana. So the starting ones were Sicily, Hastaloya, and Nanasomi. They all have different like classes and appearances that you can change those to some degree, and you can have them do training regimens. Over here they have finished some mental training. Its total value for squadron attributes has reached its maximum limit. Okay, that was fast. So the squadron rank has to level up before they can have more of that. And then you can send them on various missions, which do things. And there's like, they have different attributes: physical, mental, tactical. And you have to try and line those up with missions that have those requirements. And eventually you're able to take your squadron recruits into dungeons with you as a special kind of squadron mission thing. That's a thing that you can do. This isn't a guaranteed success, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it. You spend company seals. It takes them 18 hours to do their thing, and the other people just kind of sit around here, I guess. I think you can eventually have enough people in your squadron to deploy 2 groups at once, basically, because it's 4 people per mission and 8 people per squadron. I think after a certain point, this allows you to be promoted further in the Grand Company, and you can unlock a few things by doing it, but overall it's a mechanic that doesn't go anywhere, really. Like, it's not super useful or mandatory, it's just a side thing. I will say that you can unlock emotes from doing it, and also that when you do command missions or squadron missions or whatever they're called, where you take them with you on a quest into one of the earlier dungeons in the game, there's a unique limit break for commanding your squad to do a cool attack together called Ungarmax after a Final Fantasy VII thing. And there was also, additionally, a bug in the game that allowed you to do this outside of command missions. And doing so, it was a significantly more powerful option than any other limit break. And they had to fix it and explain in detail about how they missed that bug and ban a lot of people. And I didn't know about that until recently, but it's a fun fact. Anyway, let's go back to the airship landing area where we arrived after the cutscenes that don't exist anymore. Canonically, Sucro didn't experience anything. She just like blacked out, I guess, for that portion of the story because she can't remember it. It's fine. So here's our cool boat that we rescued. Actually, no. I don't think this is our cool boat. I think this is just a cool boat. Yeah, this isn't the Enterprise, I don't think. Or maybe it is, I don't know. When I look at her, I feel as though I've come home. I can think of no other way to express it. Ah, how I've longed for the more agreeable climate of the Twelveswood. Yet I will not deny the Holy See had its charms. Endless detours aside, our Ishgardian jaunt proved quite an adventure. I did most of the work, Alphino. You didn't really do anything. Alas, our work is far from done. We still have an airship to repair and a primal to slay. No rest for the heroic, eh? Mount speed upgrade and an achievement. One of them achievements you get for progress. And now we are on our way to trying to get Garuda slain. The Primal of Winds, summoned by the Ixal. Though I don't know if we know that yet. What do you think of this boat, Sid? Do you want a second matching oven mitt, ever? It calms me to look at her. It's as though I've been reunited with a part of me I never knew I was missing. Hardly surprising. You did design and build her. I bear good news. The Seed Seers have granted our request to house the Enterprise. We may take as long as we require to repair her. Of course, it would be rank folly to take one moment more than we require. Garuda, lest we forget, grows stronger by the hour. If we are to have any hope of wresting this benighted realm from her talons, it must needs be soon. Though I'm no expert on the workings of airships, it seems plain to me that the Enterprise suffered much from her time in the wilderness. Am I not correct, Sid? You are. Frankly, it's a miracle she carried us this far. As you know, the Howling Eye is encircled by a raging tempest, apt to turn proud trees to matchwood, and to make corgis bark in the distance. Our battle will end before it begins if the Enterprise cannot weather the storm. Our plan to beat a tornado is to fly into it, by the way, basically. Given time, I believe I can fully repair her. But if this tempest is as fearsome as you say, even that may not be enough. Confound it, there must be a way to brave the fury of the elements. The elements? Of course, that's it! We will work upon the element itself. Using the power of a corrupted crystal, we could clear a path through the storm and spare the Enterprise a battering. I see. You propose to utilize the properties of a crystal to alter the elemental aspect of the barrier. It seems so childishly simple in retrospect. Though mayhap not to you, Sucro. Are you calling me dumb, Alphino? Are you insulting my intelligence, Alphino? That's rude, Alphino. Don't do that. I'll be sad. We speak of the manifestations of over-aspected ether that can be found throughout Eorzea. Since the calamity disrupted the land's etheric currents, such crystals have become comparatively commonplace, which has been the cause of a great woe, as they are known to warp etheric energies, including those of living organisms. The point is, we could theoretically use a corrupted crystal to convert the wind-aspected ether comprising Garuda's barrier into ether of another aspect, one she cannot control. With certain modifications, the Enterprise should be able to deliver us to the Howling Eye in comfort, however hard Garuda blows. But we are getting ahead of ourselves. All this rests upon our ability to procure a crystal with the necessary properties. Have you any idea where we might acquire one? No, but I know a man who might. A scholar by the name of Lambertine. I don't like this name. Lambertine, I'll say, who resides in Camp Drybone. Strange as it may sound, I met him during my time at the church. Well, Marquess met him, I suppose. Whether out of pity or for want of a more willing listener, he would talk to me for hours at a time about his etheric studies, corrupted crystals being his pet subject. It was a result of these conversations that poor Marquez was observed to possess an uncommon knack for theoretical science. Sucro, I need you to return to Thanalan and seek out this scholar. Sid and I will set about repairing the Enterprise in your absence. I don't remember what energy we're turning it into. It seems like a fire tornado would be a bad idea. A water tornado is like a bad idea because that would just be like a typhoon. A lightning tornado wouldn't be a good idea. Late quests sound. The only other elements that aren't really in the same category are light and darkness, which will... well, there's ice. Ice tornado also bad. Clearly we just turned it into an unaspected tornado, because that's technically a thing. Like if we look at our inventory, you can see elements over here. Because you can get shards, crystals, and clusters for each of them. Fire, ice, wind, earth, lightning, water. I don't think a tornado made out of any of these would be great. Maybe earth would be the best option. Because I'm not sure what that would be. Why yes, I'm Professor Lambertine. Beg pardon? You wish to hear about my research on corrupted crystals? Truly? Well, nothing would give me greater pleasure than to discuss my work with a fellow woman of science. I'm a cat of science. A sinkhole in the sky, I guess, would be what an earth tornado is, yeah? It is so rare to find fellow intellectuals in this region. 'Tis even rarer to find one capable of comprehending the nature of corrupted crystals. Come to think of it, there was another, a hermit to whom the church had given sanctuary. Curious fellow, unsociable, rather daft at first impression, yet possessed of an amazing affinity towards the scientific pursuits. But to the matter at hand, did you say you wish not to conduct field observations, but to harvest a corrupted crystal? Egads, woman, you're only one. At least take the necessary precautions so that you don't suffer from exposure to its harmful energies. I'm beginning to wonder if you have sufficient qualifications to handle such hazardous materials. Still, your ignorance is somehow endearing. Luckily for you, I have precisely the means by which these inherent dangers may be averted. Simply store the crystal you seek within this warded pot to protect yourself from its deleterious effects, though I suppose you will be bombarded with its energies until you place it within the vessel. Well, perhaps it shall motivate you to work quickly. In any case, take the pot to Hahasako, a student of mine monitoring the flow of ether at Highbridge. Explain to him your quest, and he shall instruct you in the finer points of crystal harvesting. I'm not going to ask why you're doing this. I'm just going to give you a magic pot and tell you to go do it. Because it seems perfectly reasonable and safe. And nothing could possibly go wrong. I can't teleport to Highbridge, right? Nah, I gotta walk over there. Honestly, an Earth aspected tornado would probably just be a whole bunch of rocks falling and spinning. I don't think there is a good option. I mean, the general premise that Garuda can only control wind aspected ether, so making it literally anything else would make it a lot less significant, is true. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's entirely as safe as they make it seem. I don't remember exactly what happens, so I guess we'll have to see. Hey, where's the science at? That's down here. Science is this way. Science is getting stuck on the wall. Hahasako. How many times must I be made to explain myself? I'm not contemplating suicide, you imbecile. I have chosen this precise position to perform scientific measurements. I have a pot. What have we here? A containment vessel? Why, this is the handiwork of Professor Lambertine. You thieving knave, I shall call for the— Oh, you say the man himself lent it to you. Well, then you must have sought me out per his instruction, which means he believes me experienced enough to expound upon his explanations. At last, the recognition I so rightfully deserve. Yeah, okay. Okay. Just tell me how to get crystal. Oh, frabjous stay, Kalu Kalay! I'm going to reference that for no fucking reason. That I should be chosen to guide this woman. Yes, I, Hahasako, greatest of Professor Lambertine's pupils, shall see that you successfully quarry your quarry. Your timing is impeccable, in fact, for I was just preparing to procure corrupted crystals from the burning wall for my personal research. There, the devastating destruction caused by the calamity has blessed us with a bounty of sublime specimens. But something tells me that not but a perfect peace will satisfy your high standards, in which case you must needs descend to the deepest depths. Amidst the flowing waters and the murderous mirror nights lies the most fantastic formation I've found thus far. Take this highly advanced researcher's tool and use it to separate a small fragment from the large cluster. Place it within the worded pot and bear it back to me for inspection. The path leads from Burgundy Falls to the base of the burning The path which leads from Burgundy Falls to the base of the burning wall is treacherous and terrifying, but advance with appropriate caution and you shall surely survive. What's your fancy... Oh, it's a hammer. It would not be a lie to say that the sledgehammer was made for harvesting corrupted crystals. Also, the pot says a simple clay pot that has been treated on the inside with a special alchemical solvent. Alright. We have our task given to us by some science people. We gotta go over there. Yeah, this one. We were told where this path begins, so. Hello, and welcome. I just realized that I don't have a thing that says when I get raided. I don't have like a widget, what do it? It only tells you about things like followers and stuff. But thank you. Hello. Look at this place. This is some interesting scenery. My finaling fantasies are going well enough at the moment. This is what a mirror knight is, by the way, apparently. Very spiky bird. I don't remember this song at all. It's playing right now. I have to zoom in very closely on the map to be able to tell what's happening. I actually forgot about this region. Oh, I have to go down? Well, I can't jump off the edge, so I assume I have to go around. There are many rude Lalafell, unfortunately. There are also some Lalafell that are not rude. How do I get down there? This one. Yeah, here we go. So all these strange land masses, I think, are corrupted crystals. Yep. We did it. Normally at this point in the story, I believe these enemies would be at the appropriate level to be dangerous and aggressive to you. However, Sucro is unimaginably powerful for some reason. Probably because she's a cat. if I had to guess. And now we walk all the way back. I might have taken a more circuitous route than was necessary, but that's fine. Hopefully I'm going the right way. I considered playing as a Lullafell this time around, actually, which is not something I've done for a significant amount of time. However, the only races in this game that I have not played as at all, I think, oops, hello chat log, are Elizin and Hrothgar. Never been an elf, never been a lion. Lions don't have a female option yet, so I have no interest whatsoever. Maybe when they add female Hrothgar, I'll consider it. I see you've come galumphing back. Why am I referencing that all the time? Have you the crystal then? This hoarded pot contains a corrupted crystal. What a prodigiously large and lovely crystal! Professor Lambertine will doubtless chortle with joy when you present it to him in person. Oh, and upon your return, do remember to recount how I helped you with your harvesting. I'll be sure to tell him that you didn't do shit. He was constantly referencing, it wasn't me, it was the NPC that was referencing it. The Jabberwocky thing, because he said, like, the frabjous day, the Kalukale, galumphing back. Those are all lines from the Jabberwocky poem, what's it thing? All those funny words that were made for that piece of literature. I keep accidentally doing that. They have mentioned, by the way, that they are going to add female Hrothgar eventually. Where's this idiot again? Sucro will probably remain as she is forever. But female Hrothgar might be worth looking at least. Just to... I do have 2 Fantasias. I can turn into a Lullafell for April Fools or something and be safe. My keen scholar's sense tells me... I've already forgotten the voice I was doing for this guy. My keen scholar's sense tells me you've obtained a corrupted crystal. Am I right? If you would grant me a moment to examine the crystal... Ah, it is as you desired. A corrupted crystal overflowing with wind-aspected ether. Remind me, for what purpose did you intend to use this crystal again? What? To breach a barrier comprised of wind-aspected ether? Oh dear. That may prove problematic, as this crystal would only serve to strengthen the barrier. I suppose I'm at fault for not inquiring as to your objectives from the start. Had I known your intent, I never would have sent you to Hahasako. But what is science if not trial and error? And can you truly say that this failure has taught you nothing? Think, woman. You now understand the methods necessary to safely collect a corrupted crystal. You will doubtless have no difficulty doing so once more. What's more, the crystal you collected can serve as an invaluable resource for the ethereal studies conducted by the students of Baldessian. You've heard of them? Well, I don't mean to boast, but I have a professional relationship with the organization. Not as equals, of course. I would never be so bold as to claim that level of expertise. Are you all right? Your eyes seem to have glazed over for a moment. Anyway, I shan't keep you from your task. You still have a corrupted crystal to find. Again, I would like to point out that they did edit and cut a lot of the things from this portion of the game, allegedly, and yet they still have the entire Titan bit where you have to fetch food for a feast, and now they're doing this where they make you deliberately do the wrong thing. Corrupted crystals of sufficient size and strength are not all that common, I fear. Fortunately, one of my other students, Siana, claims to have discovered another promising site in eastern Lanosha. It's probably going to be another wrong element. That's not correct. Eastern Lanosha was where she was nearly killed when wandering too close to an Imperial Costrum. Ha! Now that made for an amusing anecdote. It was western Lanosha, Pharaoh Sirius, on the Isles of Umbra, to be precise. I can't recall her exact reasoning, something to do with one of Dalamud's talons or some such nonsense. What I can say for certain is that she's still in Aleport, attempting to gain access to the Isles. Why not travel there and see if Siana's inquiries bear fruit? If you can look past the crass and violent ways of the local pirates, you might find your time there to be quite pleasurable. Oh, and do not forget to take your makeshift warded pot, lest she think you unprepared for the task. Well, where are you gonna put the corrupted crystals that were in it while I take it? That seems relevant. I mean, like... yeah. Also, here we are going to another alcohol port to do nonsense, circuitous fetch quest task. It's fine, probably. Eh? Corrupted crystals? Madam, I've no interest in being the butt of your jokes, so if you've no other reason for addressing me, kindly leave me be. Well, I'll be damned. Professor Lambertine did send you. Beg your pardon, it seems we got off on the wrong foot. I'm Siana, greatest of the professor's pupils, which is doubtless why he bid you seek me out. Indeed, I'm an accomplished scholar with an extensive background in... oh gods, just listen to me prattle on and on. I must have given this introduction 12 times by now. Scholars. It's probably not pirates, is the quest name, because there was one earlier called It's Probably Pirates. As I told the professor in my many missives, I believe that the area surrounding Pharaoh Sirius is replete with corrupted crystals of exceptional strength. Unfortunately, I've yet to test my hypothesis, as all access to the Isles of Umbra is prohibited at present, for reasons unknown to me. You see, my attempts to acquire this information are often met with annoyance and disdain. It's rather puzzling, since I always take the time to explain my motivations in detail to the subjects of my questioning. Mayhap you'll have better luck wresting information from these yellow jackets. I've all but given up at this point. See, all you have to say is that you're a cat. Except you're not, so maybe it won't work. Maybe that doesn't work out. Ah, you startled me! Don't you know better than to sneak up on a person at a time like this with all that fatuous gossip of spirits and specters haunting the Isles of Umbra? Just because I know it's nonsense doesn't make it any less frightening. Okay, so we got Ghost. Ghost is present. Understood. Hey look, it's someone with the Butterfinger tie-in mount. Yep. You're keen on traveling to the Isles of Umbra? Bloody hells, lass, you drunk or just crazy. Ain't nothing there but death, death, and more death. Well, we got death, we got ghosts. We got death ghosts, probably, it's safe to assume. That's what happens when you combine death and ghosts. Oh, it was down there. Oh. What it does and doesn't let you jump over is kind of mysterious. Oh, hey, look, jail. The Isles of Umbra? What interest have you in that godforsaken place? Ever since we were forced to abandon fairest Sirius, the Isles have become not more than a graveyard for ships unable to navigate the shores, and a purgatory for the souls dragged down to the depths with them. Boat ghosts, in addition to other kinds. See, this time I feel like questioning a handful of locals has, revealed some information that's pertinent, instead of just being like, I don't know, why don't... fuck you, or whatever they usually say. So we know that there are ghosts, we know that there's death, and we know that there's boats that are also dead ghosts. I love you too. Ah, Sukro, you've returned. Tell me of your findings. Really? Infested with the undead, you say? That's a very, very interesting development. Excuse me for a moment while I gather my thoughts. Worry not, my friend. I've given your findings some thought, and I've concluded that this talk of spirits is not more than local folklore. As for why all travel to the Isles of Umbra is restricted, well, mayhap it's considered too dangerous, owing to the abandonment of Pharaoh Sirius? Yes, well, anyway, while you were questioning those yellow jackets, I paid a visit to the local pub, since even an esteemed scholar like myself enjoys dulling her wits on occasion. It was there that I heard tale of a man named Skifrin, who was recently detained after returning from, wait for it, the Isles of Umbra. This is the first I've heard of someone actually traveling to and from there, so I'm curious as to how he obtained permission. Mind having a chat with him in my stead. He was arrested after all, so I'm somewhat reticent to approach him myself. Okie dokie. Gonna talk to the criminal. The criminal whose crime was going somewhere. And nothing else. I would presume that he did not obtain permission if he did indeed get arrested for going there. Oh hey, you weren't there a second ago. I have to go back. She calls to me, sings to me. Tell Mimidor I'm sorry. Give him this. He was right. Could you release me? Yes, release me. I will go and tell her. Let me go to her. Seems suspicious. Golden feather. This brilliant feather reflects light as if it were actually made of gold. Well, that seems fine. I don't see anything wrong with this man. I don't think Pharaoh Sirius is actually a required dungeon, but it is a dungeon. It is 2 dungeons, in fact. I could be wrong, and it might be required. In which case, if it is, I've miscalculated the amount of dungeons remaining that Sukro needs to do. I am not supposed to be down here. I said at some point yesterday that Sukro had to do 3 more dungeons. Which now might be true, because I'm no longer including the Stone Vigil in that number. What did Skiffrin have to say? Well, that's not terribly helpful. I couldn't care less about how much he misses his favorite bar wench. But what was that about? A man named Mimidoa? Wait, I know that name. That's the bastard who grabbed my arse the other day at the pub. If you want to give him that feather, be my guest. I'm not going anywhere near him and his wandering hands. Great. Wonderful town we're dealing with here. Happy to be here. Love it. That's not true. I don't love it. Oh hey, guess what? It's a shitty Lalafell again. Wow, amazing. Now the initiate, are ya? No, then what are ya? Speak up, missy, I can't hear ya. Yeah, throw him into the fire tornado. Good idea. Bugger me, is this what I think it is? Couldn't be. You found this, you say? Where'd you say you found it? Skiffrin, you say? Was hoping to have a word with the lad, but it sounds like there's naught left twixt his ears. Was supposed to help patch up Pharaoh's Sirius, he was. Company sent me to supervise the lot of 'em. Weren't getting work done on their own, see? Half 'em walked off, half 'em ran off, half 'em up and vanished. That's 3 halves. What's that? You looking for passage to the Isles of Umbra? Why didn't you say so? I've been thinking of dispatching someone to take a look on behalf of old Mimidoa. Tell him how the land lies. Ain't nobody been interested till you came a-calling. Whole port's up in arms about spirits and so forth. If I had the gill, I'd hire some sellswords and let 'em sort it out. But you'll do in a pinch, you will. Show this parchment to the skipper and he'll see you there and back. Well, at least this probably shitty guy is helping us do something. At least we get to go to a ghost-infested hell zone. I've always wanted to go to a ghost-infested hell zone, you know. So you went and had a word with Mimidoa. I hope the valuable time you saw fit to waste amounted to something. A slip of parchment granting you crossing to the Isles of Umbra. You mean that disgusting creature was Skiffrin's superior? I find that hard to believe. But this writ of passage does appear to be genuine, so it must be true. I must say, it's a relief to work with such an industrious woman as you. I look forward to hearing the discoveries you'll make on the Isles of Umbra, without me. Fine, fine. I fail to see the justification for dragging me along on your journey, but if you insist, I will go as well. But 12 is my witness. If you leave me behind to be devoured by some horrid abomination, I shall come back to haunt you. I mean, I don't really see why you need to come along either, to be honest. I didn't mean to be rude to the ghosts, but the ghosts are certainly going to be rude to me, so... That's a big ocean. Oceans are typically large. I don't know if you knew this. Ha! Take me to the Isles of Umbra, she bids, as if it's as simple as... Oh, I see you've got a writ of passage. Alright, then climb aboard. And so we did. And now we're here. Welcome to Ghost Town. This doesn't seem all that bad. I'm not saying I'd like to build a summer home here, but oh, the hell's with this. Here, take your pot and go on without me. You've harvested corrupted crystals before, right? So it isn't as though you require my assistance. Speak to the man guarding the gate. I'm sure he'll let you in. If you'd please excuse me. She runs directly into the ocean and is never seen again. Obviously. So I don't know if these are spirits here. They might be. Plasmoids. Little plasma dealies. Beg your pardon, ma'am, but how did you come here? Access to the island is currently restricted. I have a jug. An old pot. I'm not sure I follow. Oh, I see. You wish to harvest a corrupted crystal. Sorry, friend, you may have to return empty-handed. Well... The writ Master Mimidoa gave you may may grant you access to the island, but only authorized personnel may proceed past this point. Why, you ask? Look up and see for yourself. When that giant mass of crystals struck the lighthouse, it caused severe damage to both the structure and the machinery within that once powered the beacon. Aye, contrary to what the small folk would have you believe, the fires of Pharaoh Sirius were not the product of a mage's thaumaturgy or a colossal arcane bomb, but an elaborate contraption fueled by ethereal energy. Repairs are still ongoing, but it's anyone's guess when they'll be complete. What's worse, all work has ceased since rumors of the Walking Dead drove off the entire crew. Not that those rumors are incorrect. I've observed the fiends from a distance, at the ship graveyard to the south. What's drawn them to the shores is still a mystery, though. I'll make you a deal, Sucro. Help me unravel this mystery, and I'll bring you your corrupted crystal. In fact, I shall begin searching for one that satisfies your requirements. As for where to begin your inquiries into the situation, it so happens that a party of 3 adventurers came ashore not long ago, seeking to scavenge valuable trinkets at the ship graveyard. I'd be surprised if they knew nothing of the undead infestation, so it might behoove you to question them. More running around. It's very quiet here. Alright, individuals, how are you doing? It's all there for the taking. 5 bleeding years worth of wrecks in their cargo, but those queer dead things in that voice. Actually, the voice was quite nice. Alright. Gods, that voice, that single fleeting verse, I could still hear it. Stay clear of the southern shore, friend. It took every ounce of my strength to resist. You saw them too, right? Dead people, just shambling about without a care in the world. Except when they do seem to care, that is, and start shuffling towards the water. Well, that all seems reasonable. Nothing suspicious or strange or dangerous or scary happening around these islands. Just regular undead who want to go for a swim. This talk of an alluring voice is disturbingly familiar. As if... But that's impossible. They're all dead, aren't they? What's that mean? What if they have returned? That would mean... Oh, beg your pardon. I was just thinking about something. Which reminds me, I received word that Master Mimidor would be arriving any moment. Apparently he grew frustrated waiting for the sweet young lass with skin as soft as phoenix down to return. Which I'm assuming is you. God damn it. I'll kill him. I don't know what sort of arrangement you had, but you should probably go and explain yourself. Fine. You know, he's in a good position to be punted into the water. What's been keeping you, initiate? Ain't getting any younger, you know. Some honey-voiced harlot's been calling out to folk that wander near the ship graveyard. Stirred up the dead and all. Bloody hells, it takes me back to my days as a cannon boy sailing under old Mistbeard. They wouldn't dare, would they? Don't have the lesson we learned them last time. But they would, wouldn't they, brazen old biddies? Some folk says the first purge would be the last, but I knew deep down in me bones this day would come. Come it has. And I bet me bum ear sirens behind all this. Not one of the sanguine variety, initiate. Speak of the other kind. And what's got feathers and lures sailors to a watery grave with their sweet, sweet song. But it don't end there. No, drowning's just the start. Even in death, man stays bound to the beast, forced to do a bidding till his corpse can't do it no more. 'Tis a fate I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, except maybe in drink, and I'd regret it after. And he wrote 'tis up to us to stop this hellsborn hussy before she takes another soul. Of course, we can't send you marching off to war without these. Siren don't have no power over a man can't hear her song. 'Tis lucky for you, I'll carry a spare pair, and lucky for the both of us, I'm a superstitious old sod, eh? She ain't coming to us, so we'd better head over to her, to the ship graveyard, initiate. I don't know why he's calling me an initiate. What is this that I have? Brass earplugs. Makes sense. Yeah, can we use this guy as like bait for the siren? I guess this is just going to be like a fight and not a dungeon, but there is a siren in the dungeon as well, I think. Also, we have a completely regular praying mantis here. Hello. This is what a praying mantis is. Seems to be doing a little shuffle. Goodbye, praying mantis. Well, here's a ship graveyard. I think some of these enemies are part of hunting logs, but maybe not the ones that I have access to. It would seem that not. If she passes near the shore, she should sit by the campfire and come looking. Just a matter of waiting now. Just a matter of a fight. Alright. I can do that. Beginning to wonder if some sly bugger ain't spun us a yarn here. Sucro did the sigh emote. Wait, they use this music here? Quiet, do you hear that? 'Tis her. Look, out of the water, she's come, initiate. She's come. Hello. Cool harp. Cool bird wings. Quick, lass, shove them plugs in your ears and get ready for a fight. Soon as she realizes you're deaf to our ditties, she'll call on her thrills and we'll be up to our necks in corpses before you know it. Well, I guess the earplugs were in at some point. Would I need specialized earplugs due to I'm a cat, though? Hither embrace mine everything all. But there was no effects. True love spurned, her cruelty's reward. Okay. Maybe you don't fight the siren here. You fight the siren later in the dungeon. Cast out Keller's soul, dead to desire. Somehow we're still hearing this even though we're wearing earplugs to not. I guess we're not getting the full thing. Spare, mournful mistress, distress. Ha! I mean, both things can be true. Melody, last breath of death, the rhythm. Dost thou not to relent, regret, forever alone? Cool bubble over there. What's your cool bubble about? Why is there a bubble? What's the bubble for? Oh, it explodes. My love, a river, one look, soul shiver. I don't think it's a good idea to become friends with someone who routinely makes undead thralls, though. Like, out-of-living people. There could be an argument for someone who just, like, recycles corpses in an environmentally friendly manner. But, like, there's some ethical issues here. I know it's a joke. I'm just being silly in response. Well, that happened. Am I alright? Better than that, ain't shit. Happy as a sailor in a whorehouse, I am. I'm gonna throw you into the water. Of course, I'd be happy as a sailor with 2 Wattses if we got it. Fuck you. Can't have everything, can you? She'll not come cruising around here again, though. Not for a while, Nero. She does, well, we know what to do, don't we? Thanks for the help. I've clean forgot your name. Remind me. Sucro? Don't recall having no initiate by that name. If you're not me old mate, why'd you been so bloody helpful? Never mind. Be seeing you, lassie. I hope I never see you again. Seriously, why does this game have a habit of making, like, most of the worst NPCs Lalafell? Do they want Lalafell to have a bad reputation? I mean, there's a lot of good Lalafell as well. But bad things tend to stick out more than good things in a lot of instances. So... Hey, something happened. You mean it was a siren? But how were you able to resist her song? I see. I heard the Master Mimidoa was involved in the first purge, but I never actually... Having survived an ordeal like that, I can't blame him for carrying earplugs around with him. I have something for you. The corrupted crystal you wanted, safely sealed within the pot as you requested. Please take it with my compliments. Hooray. I bet it's the wrong aspect of ether. That would be great, wouldn't it? It's probably gonna be like lightning or water, and that's somehow bad. Or also wind somehow, just to spite me. Oh, it's you! Welcome back, Sucro. You're looking remarkably hale, I must say, and more importantly, alive. You are alive, aren't you? Yeah, there's a lot of corruption. Ah, the conquering hero returns bearing a gift. Might I have a closer look? Impressive. Very impressive indeed. I think you'll be quite pleased with this specimen. Congratulations, Sucro. Seldom, if ever, have I encountered a corrupted crystal composed of such a volatile overabundance of fire-aspected ether. What? You wanted a corrupted crystal composed of ice-aspected ether to counteract the effects of a raging wind? Did we? Did we specifically ever know we needed ice? Well, this specimen won't help you there. Anyone who knows anything about the elements could tell you that. You'll just have to keep looking, I suppose. That's a good emote for this. Not that one. What am I looking for here? Yeah, that's probably about the right noise. The Curious Case of Giggity. Don't fret now. I know exactly where to find a corrupted crystal comprised of ice-aspected ether. An associate of mine in Gridania has been studying the effects of one such crystal on living beings. That sounds fine. What's with that expression? I thought you'd be pleased to hear this news. This is not a wild dodo chase, another wild dodo chase, I assure you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. What's even better is that this time you can use that warded pot of yours to protect yourself from the crystal's energies. Hedden's findings suggest that it's quite safe. Why, you ask? Well, let's just say that it's undergone a unique process that's rendered such precautions unnecessary. Anyway, do not let me keep you. It's been a pleasure, Sucro. Come back and see me sometime, okay? Alright, is actually what she said. Not okay. Well. We're even ending back where we start. We went to like a region associated with all three city-states, and we're back where we started. So they're really like hammering home the wild dodo chase, as she said. Final Fantasy XIV. It's a video game. And the story gets better, I assure you. So where are you? You are near the amphitheater. And I am going to be right back. Hello. Sorry it took me a while. It's one of those days where things take a while. Let's see. Gotta make sure everything's working. And here we are. I still don't actually know how I keep accidentally causing auto run to turn on. Because I don't actually remember what button I have that as. Anyway. Greetings and salutations. Miss Funk, I presume. Sienna informed me of your adventures in Ailport. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Though, as Professor Lambertine is fond of saying, no action taken in the name of science is ever truly wasteful. To the matter at hand, corrupted crystals possessing the properties you seek could be found in abundance at the standing courses following the calamity. Alas, that is no longer the case, and while there's at least one suitable crystal that remains to be found within the Twelveswood, precisely where it is at any given moment is more difficult to say. Permit me to explain. You are familiar with Spriggans, yes? The furry little rascals that are wont to seek out ores and other stones. Well, one such creature with an infamously insatiable appetite has single-handedly devoured every corrupted crystal in the Twelveswood. Fortunately for you, these crystals take an eternity to digest, assuming they can even be digested, and I'm reasonably confident that one still resides within his gut. It's quite fascinating. My theory is that this Giggity first consumed a corrupted crystal when... you couldn't care less about all this, could you? To the point then, Giggity seldom makes his presence felt unless there's a particularly fine fodder to be had. Therefore, we shall require a lure, and I have precisely the sort he will find impossible to resist. Simply place this true heart, I shall save the story of the origin of its unusual name for another occasion, outside the Spriggan's lair and wait for the opportune moment to pounce. As for the method by which you retrieve the crystal from his gut, I shall leave that to your discretion. Okay. This bright, blood-colored ore is thought to be a symbol of loyalty and honesty. Okie doke. We gotta go over here. So my issue with this series of quests is, first of all, I don't know how we knew the details about what kind of crystal we needed. And second of all, I don't know why we didn't convey these details about what kind of crystal we needed. This part feels a little bit sloppy. And we're not even at the part where that word is a meme yet, which is quite a while away. There's a boss that has a voice acting line where he goes, sloppy! And it's good. Yes. I mean, I guess, actually thinking about it, the reason we didn't convey anything is because all Suko says is that she's a cat. It's always worked before, though. And she has added additional words to it. She's a cat and she needs an ice crystal, apparently. Though nobody ever told us that we needed an ice one, I don't think. I might be wrong. Oops. I mean, that works. Yeah. Someone slammed a door. Crystal bearer. That's a funny thing to call this enemy. Well, hooray, we did it! Over-aspected ether manifested into solid form. Hey, look at how this crystal is orange. That's just an earth one. That's not ice. This is still wrong. God damn it. Someone said to me just now while I was gone, and mentioning briefly in Discord chats to people what I was doing, that this part feels worse and dumber than the intentionally dumb part of Titan quests. Like the quest to get to Titan in this game, not the game Titan quest. And I'm starting to kind of agree. I forgot about this. Like, the Titan part is more infamous. I forgot about the Garuda part being like this. Ah, pray do not sneak up on me like that. I was engrossed in... Wait, what is that god's awful smell? It's an earth crystal that's not the right aspect. That is a breathtakingly beautiful crystal. I see my supposition was not mistaken. And I also see you weren't averse to digging through Spriggan entrails for your prize. We owe our furry friend a debt of gratitude, you know. The thick coating of digestive juices is protecting us from the harmful effects of the crystal, just as the warded pot you once used did. Why so glum, friend? You finally obtained the corrupted crystal you sought, one overflowing with earth-aspected ether! Christ... Calm down, I jest. It's comprised of the ice-aspected ether, worry not. Wait, really? I suppose that joke was in poor taste, considering your previous 2 attempts were not. But it's orange! What is this? Is it like Cool Ranch or something? I don't even think that's orange. Beg your pardon, Sucro, I forgot to return your crystal to you. Oh, they're all just all orange? Okay. Oh, and there was a message for you from Professor Lambertine. Something about a man named Marquez. Apparently the professor misses the intellectual stimulation. Forgive me, I should have written it down. It occurs to me that I've yet to ask why you needed that crystal. You aren't planning anything nefarious, are you? It would reflect poorly on me and my research if it was used for evil ends. Ah, well, perhaps it's best I remain ignorant. I didn't become the professor's greatest pupil by filling my head with unnecessary information. Really getting some, like, I'm the third most powerful mole energy from all of these scholars. Yeah, I guess this is just the right crystal then. Oh, I could have gone directly to the airship landing. I failed to notice that in time. I don't remember, by the way, if the game ever explains what corrupted actually means. That person had a Sun Wukong minion, or Monkey King. Why is Sun Wukong in every video game that's ever been made? Without fail? If you can think of a video game that doesn't have Sun Wukong in it, you just didn't look hard enough. Okay then. All repairs and modifications have been completed. Sucro? Once you bring me that crystal, nothing will stand between us and Garuda. Here's your crystal. It's gross. I'll need to run some tests to be sure, but this looks to be exactly what we need. Worry not, Sucro. I'll see that your hard work doesn't go to waste. That's true. I mean, but there's got to be other major folklore characters that aren't that guy. The Enterprise is already more than a common airship, but mark my words, soon it will become something greater, something extraordinary. This is me. I am Shadow the... No, this is what I was born to do. I am all of me. Sucro, what do you have to say? Why do you tarry, Sucro? Our work is not yet finished. We must press onward until the Harpy Queen lies broken at our feet. I've lost the Alphino voice because they've done too many other snooty scholars. Oh, you have no idea, Isa. You have no idea. Anyway, here's Garuda's face. That's what her face looks like. According to my tests, the device is now functioning in perfect harmony with the crystal, meaning we can leave whenever you're ready. But you must understand, tests can only tell one so much. Until we approach the Howling Eye, until we attempt to breach the barrier itself, I cannot be sure that this will work. I think it only fair to tell you that there's a small but statistically significant chance that the crystal could trigger a massive... Mayhap it's better that we remain positive. Sucro, I want to thank you for reuniting me with my ship in a cutscene that we're unable to watch, for trusting me in me to develop this plan for everything. You've helped me to rediscover a part of myself I've forgotten. I'm not the man I once was, and I do not know if I ever shall be, but I do know one thing. This feels right. My apologies for the sudden outpouring of sentiment. I would have waited until after the mission, but, well, you understand. It's okay, Sid, you're cool. I like you, actually. Time to drive a boat into a tornado.
There. She's ready.
With dialogue, voice, acting.
Ah, she stirs.
I'm a cat. You can do it.
To Kurthus, and an audience with the Harpy Queen Garuda.
Hey, I've been saying Kurthus
Enterprise,
right.
engage.
God damn it, Alphino. You're grounded. Go to your room, Alphino. God damn it. You'll get copyright sued for copyright things. I don't know. Seems like we're flying this airship okay. Alphino's very small, by the way. I'm a cat. I'm still here. This airship could use some seats. Why are you taking off your goggles? Oh yeah, because you're Garlean. So you have the third eye.
Damn it. I once flew in this airship, and I was not alone. There were adventurers on board. Adventurers like you.
They were a cat? Oh. Echo time. I looked at my goggles one other
Just
time.
how long have I worn these damn goggles?
That line delivery is... How long have I worn these damn goggles? Good one, Sid. Is that the entire flashback? No. I've held other things in my hand too. Crazy. Also, I
Yes,
used to not have a
I
beard.
fancied myself a trendsetter in my younger days.
Wait. Is Sid narrating this Echo flashback as I have it? Or did he just, like, narrate his past back then, and I'm flashing back to him narrating his own life? Maybe it's best not to think about it.
The young prodigy, admired by all.
He's running.
Exactly like his father.
He's going. He's gonna get there, wherever he's going.
Born and raised in Garlemald.
Garlemald, known for its famous white void. Sid, you doofus.
It was only natural
This is cute.
the precocious young student should become an engineer. Had his father not done the same? Father, when did we stop seeing eye to eye?
I forget who his father is, but I think it's very important to the plot.
When
Here's
did
Dalaman.
Meteor become your everything and your loved ones cease to matter?
Also known as Meteor. Slightly older Sid. Oh yeah, I think his dad was the Emperor. Is the idea here? Because that's the Emperor.
You abandoned us all, but he was there for me.
Oh wait, no. Okay,
There
never
for
mind.
me when you were not.
Because that is the Emperor,
Though
a
he
Emperor.
proved no
I
better
think.
in the end. Gaius was just another man with an all-consuming obsession.
I think we saw Gaius a little bit, like, way earlier already. Not too much. Here is the map. Where do you wish to go?
And so I ran, left the Empire behind and came to Eorzea, where I built the ironworks.
Remember these two? Um... What? What? I'm a cat?
Ah yes, it was then that I first donned these goggles.
What? What does that mean? I don't remember that at all. Some weird cat gave me these things.
Eorzea opened my eyes. It was home to so many manner of people, each with their own hopes and dreams. People worth saving, and so I fought beside them.
I don't think that what just happened in this scene is ever addressed again. And it's probably just a representation of the Echo helping him to remember something. Somehow.
I wanted to prove that my knowledge could serve a nobler purpose. I wanted to prove that there was another way. And it
I mean,
all
there's already
began that
been-
day when I found my new home.
There's already been a number of things in this scene that weren't literal, like the white void. I was joking, there's not really a white void in Garlemald. That we know of.
I had forgotten how wonderful it was. The wind in your hair, the endless sky.
I don't know how serious you are when you say that. Because if that's like actually what happens, and there's actually a time loop thing here that makes no sense, and it's never talked about.
That light. It was you, wasn't it? It's surprising how few people know this, but all pureblood Garleans have a third eye.
Oh, they're sort of addressing it a little bit.
Perhaps mine helped me recognize you, or perhaps it was just a lucky guess.
Because the third eye can, like, see ether, I think? So the echo actually, like, moves your ether to the past or something?
The Enterprise was made for this. To carry Eorzea's protectors into battle.
I really don't remember this at all. I'm completely baffled.
I am proud to be able to call her my own.
But we have a cool boat.
Sid? What exactly do you remember?
Alphinaud, my boy. Sorry to have been
You said Alphinaud wrong. He said Alphinaud.
I remember everything. My name, my people, and my purpose. Everything. Come. It would be rude to keep Garuda waiting.
Okay. I mean, that vision was definitely like a past. It doesn't... I don't know about the third eye seeing the future. I think the third eye can see, like, ether currents and stuff. Anyway, we're here now. It's fine. Oh, ether ore. I see what... I see the joke. I missed the joke first. What is it, Sucro? Don't tell me you're having second thoughts at a time like this. Or do you truly wish to return to Gridania? Nah. I just want you to explain the cutscene, Sid. Anyway. All our efforts, all our travails, all of it was for this. Make ready, Sucro, for the end is nigh, be it hers or our own. The Howling Eye is now accessible. Time to fight Garuda. They're probably going to have a cutscene before the boss fight again, because they haven't learned that they shouldn't put cutscenes inside of the duty yet. The duty. Here we are, though, waiting. It's fun how they have these little areas that are, like, entirely for waiting around for the plot to happen, and, like, you can't ever come back to this one, like, screen. There's the eye. God. Sid is the true Endwalker. We have no idea what, if anything, Endwalker means. Of course. Oh yeah, that's right. Gales. There's a little weather indicator up here on the upper right of the compass, and the weather is often unique for, like, trials and things like that. Wonder if we'll be in the party with either one of these folks. Or this person. Everyone here is a DPS right now. We've got a black mage, we've got a monk, we've got a bard who's leaving. That about... Yeah, that tracks with the ratio of the amount of people who play DPS versus the other two. Maybe I should have been... Maybe I should have made myself play healer or tank. Thrown all caution to the wind. There's enough wind to throw caution at. That's for certain. I'll say now that I'm not going to be voicing Garuda much, because most of what she says is just maniacal laughter. I think. There she is, though. Just... Who dares intrude upon my sanctuary? Apparently that's the voice I'm giving her. Your insolence shall not go unpunished, landwalkers. 12 preserve. She's huge. As I live and breathe. Yes, there are also birdmans here. Over there, look. Oh, kobolds. That's not good. And Amalja. It's set to be Amalja and kobold prisoners, but why would the Ixal bring them here? Hee hee ha 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 hee hee ha 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 hee hee ha ha. Wherefore you come hither, foolish mortals? Garuda, we are here to put an end to your reign of terror. Hear you this blasphemy, my children? These landwalkers would bring me low. You, who are bound to crawl upon the earth, should revere me, for I am the wind. Did we not take to the skies and slip your defenses? We are bound by nothing, Garuda. You think your playthings give you strength? They will not help you here, Landwalker. This is my realm, where none can challenge my supremacy. Struggle though you may, I shall slake the roots with your blood, and festoon the canopy with your entrails, ha 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 ha! Squawk, slay the unfeathered ones, we shall. As an offering to Garuda, they will serve. I don't know what I'm doing with voices anymore. I'm not gonna squawk. You're not gonna make me squawk. Leave the Ixal to us, Sucro. We will keep them distracted while you deal with her. Do not fail, Sucro. Remember, you fight for the Scions, for Eorzea. Hell yeah, Garuda's theme is pretty awesome. This worm would die by my own hand. Come then, I shall grant you that which you seek. Screech! Oh no, I've been made to Awu. Oh, her laughter actually has a voice sample. I really like the song. It has a bit that syncs up with this cutscene, I think. Yep. Yeah, people in the party are complaining about how the cutscene takes forever. Not helped by me voicing it. Can I, like, do this from behind a rock? I don't think I want to be behind a rock yet. So, we've got a whole bunch of impatient people in the party this time. Now we get behind a rock. I think. They do eventually learn not to put cutscenes, like, in the trial. Oh, do they? Soon you will see the depths of your folly, mortals. Okay. understood the prompts. It's important that these rocks don't get all destroyed. The reckoning comes. Because she does this. And if you're not behind a rock when that happens, you get killed. There's no escape, no hope, none! And yeah, Ifrit's theme is kind of nothing. That's true. Now the arena shrinks, which is not terribly relevant, honestly. That's true. I feel like that might not be on purpose, because it'd be difficult to do something like that on purpose. But it is a cool thing that when you think about it. Now that I think about it. No, 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 etc. Now there's another cutscene that'll take forever, probably. Good thing all the other people who are impatient can leave. Screech. What? How in the hells? This is my realm. You have no hope here. None. Did you truly believe you could defy a god, Landwalkers? I mean, yeah, I've done it before. A couple times. Oh no. Sucre doesn't seem affected. My power is limitless, my children legion, and they've rendered unto me a wealth of crystals. Their gifts sustain me, their faith empowers me. None save my children will escape the reckoning, mortals, and those who will use my crystals to waken the rest shall realize the folly of their faith. Then all shall worship none but me, the one true God, hee 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 hee. Of course, worship, so long as the Ixal keep praying she will never fall. Then let's stop them. And so they did. Or not. Ooh! Ha 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 hee ha 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 ha. No harm will come to you, my children. This is only the beginning, Landwalkers. All who oppose me shall suffer for their defiance. Soon the worms of the forest shall receive my judgment, the desert vermin next. Their walls of stone will not shield them from the tempest. And then I will take vengeance on the sea lice. Their wooden boats cannot outrun the wind. I fucking hate boats. Tremble, mortals, for I shall visit you all in time, and all shall be mine, all mine. Ha 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 hee hee. She didn't actually laugh there, but she would have. You, Landwalker, you who dared to raise your hand against me, you shall be the first to pay for your sins, not with your death, but with your life. You will serve me, Landwalker, to your last breath. Sorry, Ifrit already tried this on me, and it didn't work. So, I claimed you! You should be mine! Sorry. Sorry, but I'm a cat. I am no one's but mine own. Well. Sorry, I need your crystal. So we missed one of these scenes with the ice one after the dungeon that I couldn't review the cutscenes of, that I was thrown into by Duty Finder. But here we are at the Sacred Realm again. You got a green rupee. That's worth 1 rupee. Woohoo! Hey, we've got all of them. We collected all the badges and now Pokemon are going to listen to us no matter what. You know, All 6 badges, classic number of Pokemon badges that you can get. Classic shape. What are you? What have you done to me? I killed you. I'm a cat. No mortal should possess such power. This is impossible. Frankly, I don't know exactly what happened, but you're dead, so shut up. Da 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 ba doo. By the way, I should go into control settings and re-enable this for the future for my own sake. And everyone left before I could commend them, of course, because no one wanted to wait on my cutscene. I did get a commendation, though. I think something crazy is about to happen, if I remember correctly. Look at this crazy loading screen. Whoa!
Why do you not tremble at my might?
Oh, your voice.
Why do you not beg for mercy? Why do you not die?
I wasn't that far off, actually, in a way.
We've done it.
Ah! Impossible it is! Kill you all!
Is that all?
Oops.
O Lady of the Vortex, O mighty Garuda,
The Empire is finally relevant!
of all primals the most terrible, I say again, is that all?
Guys!
Boo, you suck.
Ah, Sid, my boy, you look well, for one who has forsaken kin and country. I wonder what else you will forsake before the day is done.
Yeah, I actually did remember this part, like, at least after the fight.
What?
What exactly did you hope to accomplish here this day?
Killing Garuda? Killing Garuda, it's pretty obvious, honestly.
Well, I shall accomplish far more.
I'm cooler than you. I'm gonna do crazy shit. My hand is a gun! Empire does love to have guns in their gauntlet.
Is that all? Insolent mortal!
Swords are
I
also
shall
guns.
make you suffer that foul stench. I see now. She has touched you.
She's talking to Sucre in
Very
that
well.
sentence.
Seven hells, does she still mean to fight?
Oh, Lord of the Inferno Almighty, bring brought us succor in our hour of need.
Additional voices is still the best.
Titan, Lord of Crags. It hurts us so. The pain, the pain.
What is she? 12 preserve. She cannot mean to.
So you know how gods show up when people pray to them? With Crystal? Hey look, it's Ifrit again. Hey look, it's Titan again. This is fine. Everyone is here. And we're just kind of standing in the middle of it.
No, this is all wrong.
Stop gawping, boy. We must run.
Sucre has nothing to say except she's leaving. Well, Gaius?
Surrender yourselves unto me. I would feast upon your ether. None shall stand against the wind.
Mm-hmm. What's this object?
Bear witness to the glory of the Empire.
What if this just landed on him and he died? Like, just accidentally landed directly on Gaius? But yeah, that thing just absorbed Ifrit entirely. Yup. Actually, yes, this is Ultima weapon. You are correct. Garuda
Who will suffer, Garuda?
is not looking pleased by this.
Ancient Eleg had ways of dealing with your kind. Now, look on their ultimate weapon, Icon, and despair.
No! No! No!
Jesus Christ. That wasn't necessary. I mean, none of that.
Magnificent.
All of that was a little bit
Exceeds
gratuitous.
all expectation.
But yeah, that's Ultima weapon. Also, look at these weird flying pillars, I guess.
Each primal it consumes, it grows more powerful. A marvel, is it not?
Has Lalha Brea been voiced until, like, before this cutscene? I don't think he has.
Such is the fate of those who oppose the Empire.
He's riding in its claw.
There will be no warriors of light to save you this time. If your leaders are as wise as they are reported, they will surrender.
Who are you talking to? Oh, we're still here.
Your skills are impressive, but they will not be enough.
Yep, that is pretty Organization 13 from what I know. Which is not much, admittedly. Bye, Gaius. Cool flying mount you got. How do you unlock that one?
What chance have we against such an ungodly creation? And who was that armored devil?
That was Gaius van Balsar, legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion and Supreme Commander of the Garlean invasion force in Eorzea.
Yeah, just some
Of
Gaius.
course. The Black Wolf.
Ooh.
How could I not realize? Grandfather mentions him in his journal.
I forgot that Louis Sois had a journal, but I'm just imagining it has a bit that's like, yo, the Black Wolf is pretty bad.
I was never
And
so
that's it.
naive as to think the man would abandon his ambitions. But these developments are beyond my worst expectations. What have you been doing these past 5 years? How could something of this magnitude escape the Alliance's attention?
Good question, Sid, honestly.
We heard no whispers, saw no signs. In the wake of the calamity, the Empire seized land and built outposts, but that was the extent of their aggression.
Damn it, Gaius. Where in the seven hells did you find that thing?
It has been a day of unexpected developments, but the fact remains, Garuda is no longer a threat.
That's true.
While I take no comfort in the manner of her downfall, it does mean that we may safely put the matter of the primals to one side, for the time being at least.
Which just leaves the matter of Gaius's new toy.
Indeed. That weapon poses the greatest threat to Eorzea. It must be destroyed. But first, we must needs find out all we can. Let us make for Vesper Bay. We shall rebuild the Scions. All is not yet lost, my friend, for we bear the light, and shall surely lead our people from the darkness.
You're a little bit arrogant, aren't you? Despite everything that happened, Alphino's still willing to say, we bear the light and shall lead our people from the darkness. Like he's a super cool guy who can do anything. But he's just Alphino. That weapon didn't destroy those primals, it devoured them. Gods only know what else it can do. Well, that was an experience I would rather not have again. Something has been troubling me, Sucro. Shortly before the Black Wolf took center stage, when Garuda attempted to claim you as her own, I could have sworn that I saw... but I'm sure I was mistaken. In times of great stress, the evidence of the eye is apt to be misread by even the most inquiring mind. Forget I mentioned it. Returning to the subject of our earlier discussion, we may consider the matter of the primals closed until further notice. No beast tribe will dare summon their gods so long as that weapon exists. Truly, a more effective deterrent I could not imagine. It almost seems a shame to plot its destruction. Achievement unlocked, free wing knight. Because there's always ones. Action unlocked, devilment. That's a buff. It gives me crit. It's good. It's not gonna be usable in anything relevant or important for a long time. It is past time that we return to the Waking Sands. To leave our headquarters in disrepair any longer would be to dishonor the memory of those who fell there. We have been brought to our knees, but we will rest, rebuild, and rise once more. Oh boy. Everyone's favorite phrase, return to the Waking Sands. 5 words she loves to hear. Good thing they gave us these Aetheryte tickets to make it easy. And like, as much as I was complaining a little bit about the story that's been happening so far and all the running around like back and forth, I think the Ultima weapon bit there is pretty impressive. Like, it's pretty like, oh wait, oh geez, things are serious now, uh-oh. It's not like the best moment in the game. We could at least turn the lights on, maybe? It's completely quiet in here. Well, we did empty out all of the bodies. Yeah, they did remove some of the padding. I'm not actually sure anymore what parts they took out, considering what's been happening, but I assure you that later parts are better. I had no idea, Sucro. I can only imagine how you felt when you returned that day. Tell me, Sucro, does aught here strike you as odd? I see signs of recent habitation. Could it be that we have trespassers? Mayhap it is just my imagination. Come, let us proceed into the solar. Whoops. I accidentally hit cancel. Not even a quest complete jingle. Wait. Oh, hello. Who goes there? Now, Ida, is that any way to greet a friend? Alphino, Sucro. Sid? Wait, is this a dream? Not that I'm aware of. It's been a while, Ida. I don't believe it. I was sure you'd been... This place has seen better days. You know, I wasn't actually here when... I was still in talks at the Adder's Nest. The first I knew about it was when I came back and I saw... Ida. The church had taken care of the bodies, but that still left the stains. It was hard to know where to start, if Y'shtola hadn't been here to help me. Y'shtola's here too. Yes, but she's not here right now. She's gone to Ul'dah to meet a man who might know what happened to the others. Papalimo and Minfilia weren't among the dead, according to the church. Y'shtola thinks they were taken somewhere. I think I saw that upon the orders of the Black Wolf, no doubt. Why would he want them? Because they possess something he desires, knowledge of another power that can be brought to bear against the primals, one that Gaius has yet to harness. The Echo. Sucro did a shocked surprise animation. Gaius will be aware of its existence, as well as the immunity it grants the gifted to the primal's influence. Powerful though his Allagan weapon may be, he would doubtless desire such protection. He means to use Minfilia to gain an understanding of the Echo, none of which explains how the Empire came to know the location of the Waking Sands in the first place. No matter, the Empire has shown its hand, and now we must act. It is up to us to rebuild the Scions and save Eorzea. Can I count on you, Ida? What? Oh, yes, of course, whatever you need. We can discuss our next move upon Y'shtola's return. For now, I say we rest. And so he did. And she also. And him. And Sucro's here too. That's an awkward sitting position. And sleeping position. Whoop.
Hear,
Oh.
feel, think.
Haven't heard those words in a long time. Well, haven't been here in a long time. Haven't been in the void for a bit. That wasn't helpful.
Bringer of light.
Hi?
Brave gatherer of the crystals, thy soul burneth bright. I am Hydaelyn, all made one. Hearken unto me now, for the darkness doth begin to spread. Wear thee the bearer of the crimson brand, for he is the avatar of shadow, whom death attendeth always.
That's ominous.
The crystals shall be thy salvation, thy blade and shield both.
But I'm not a paladin. I don't use those weapons.
Steel thyself, for at the appointed hour thou shalt stare into the heart of darkness.
Okay.
Go with caution, my child, but fear not, for I am ever with thee.
Cool. And suddenly... Hi. Y'shtola! Sucro! And I see you and Alphino are safe. And Cid. That we five should meet each other thus defies simple explanation. It's as if the benevolent hand of Master Louis Soir guides us still. He would not see us undone so easily. Not now when the need is so great. Good framing on that shot with the staff in the back there. Because that's Louis was. I know where Minfilia and the others are being held. Where? An imperial stronghold in the heart of Mordona, Castrum Sentry. Triumphant jingle! Your friends are being held by the Empire! Yeah! Alright, what's everyone got to say about that? Gaius may have called it a weapon of ancient Allag, but I saw extensive Magitech modifications. An Imperial Castrum. 'Twas to be expected, I suppose. Alright, let's do this. Let's go and rescue Minfilia and the others. The rescue of our allies will be no small undertaking, Sucro. Even under normal circumstances, breaching the defenses of an Imperial Castrum would be a highly dangerous proposition. But now that Castrum Sentry houses prisoners whom the Garleans deem valuable, we may be confident that they've taken additional measures to ensure the stronghold's security. If we are to free our friends, we will require an effective strategy, and if we are to formulate an effective strategy, we will require intelligence. I believe I know a man who may be able to assist us, Lord Portelaine of House Durandare. He's stationed at the Observatorium in Curthus. Let's go to him and beseech his aid. Oh boy, more of Curthus. More of the houses. Great. Love it. Fantastic. I mean, at least we're kind of on their good side now. Anyone gonna turn on the lights in this place? Anyone gonna turn on the background music in this place? No? I'd do it, but I don't know where the light switch is. Or the music switch. I got no idea. Anyway, back to this grand old place full of snow and dricks. Let's see how they're rude today. At least my movement speed on a chocobo is increased now, so it's not quite as troublesome to navigate. Though I have no doubt there will still be a lot of pointless back and forth. Whoop. I keep accidentally pressing that button. Despite the little privacy curtain thing over there that's supposed to cover the chat, I keep displaying it to the screen. Thankfully, there's basically nothing on it. You might have seen some people complaining that I was taking too long to watch the Garuda cutscenes. Maybe. I never talk to you. Once again, we're here at the Observatorium. That's not the Observatorium. I was going the wrong way. I'm really bad at basic navigation. Even when I'm staring directly at a map. Here we go. Oh hey, it's Vitamin Death. That's a good player name that I've actually seen before. Ah, Sucro, the woman who unmasked the heretic in our midst. To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? I forget the voices. You are an associate of Y'shtola, but of course Lord Drillimont confided to me that you are a scion of the Seventh Dawn. Okay, maybe we are going to be helpful today in Elf Zone. In a snow elf. Mostly elf, not all elf. Significant number of elf. Castrum Sentry, what interest have you all in the Imperials? They hold several of our number, who we intend to free. Any information you can provide would be greatly appreciated. I see. That might explain our scouts' reports. They observed 4 prisoners being led to the castrum, a Huron woman, an Elysian man, and 2 Lalafels, 1 male, 1 female. That would be Minfilia, Urianger, Papalimo, and Tataru. Which I'm sure they're about to say. It's them! It has to be! Minfilia, Urianger, Papalimo, and Tataru. Yep. If that scant morsel is of use to you, you may also be interested to hear about a more recent incident. Incident? An Imperial airship made an emergency landing here in Kurthis not long ago. 2 men believed to be prisoners, a Rogadin and a Lalafel, were seen fleeing the craft. What did you say? A Rogadin and a Lalafel, Master Garland. Neither wore Imperial dress, and they both seemed disinclined to wait for rescue. Hence our assumption that they were prisoners. I'll be damned, it's Biggs and Wedge. Trust those 2 rascals to escape. We must find them, Sucro, and soon. The Imperials will not rest until they are captured or killed, and if Biggs were given the choice, I fear he'd take the latter. Freeing those held in Castrum Sentry will require substantial planning and preparation. As such, it's an endeavor that will admit some slight delay. The matter of the escapees, by contrast, will not. Shortly after the prisoners vacated the airship, our scouts observed Imperial troops setting off in pursuit. It's likely only a matter of time before they catch them. If you wish to see your comrades again, you had best act now. Alright. If, as has been suggested, the Garleans took our fellow scions prisoner in hopes of understanding the echo, it seems reasonable to assume that they will not be executed until such time as the study is complete. But Biggs and Wedge are not scions, nor do they know aught of the echo. As Lord Portelaine said, this may prove our only chance to rescue them. I say we seize it. Thank you, everyone. You won't regret this. Again, a fanfare. For a decidedly non-fanfare sort of occasion. Meanwhile, at the Empire, various jerks are here. There's the ultimate weapon again. It's pretty cool. Final preparations are almost complete, my lord. There stands the culmination of... Wait, no, that's still him. There stands the culmination of 5 long years of painstaking work. But all our efforts will be vindicated when the Emperor's vision becomes reality. At last, we have the power to purge this land of its false gods. We shall give the ignorant children of Eorzea the security and stability they so desperately crave, and which their spineless leaders have so palpably failed to provide. As you say, my lord, rest assured our engineers will not rest until the weapon is fully armed and operational. Ritaten, you depart for Castrum Ocidens at midnight. You will command the western front in Vilbrand. The Eorzeans will attempt to interfere with our plans. You will see that they do not. My lord, if this be your will, I shall carry it out to the best of my ability. I live only to serve the Empire. Yet, forgive my impudence, but is it proper to give command of half our forces to I have given you nothing, Praefectus. You have earned it. That will be all. Dismissed. Yes, my lord. Not only are these guys wearing a lot of armor, that guy's shields are guns. And part of his armor. My quarters, 1 hour. And then he spent that hour staring at his cool weapon the entire time. Probably. Alright, where are we headed? Oh, right, we're headed right here. It's funny you say that, because there is an item, there is a food item in this game called the Dark Pretzel. It's just a pretzel, but it has dark in front of it for no reason. And that's always been kind of funny to me. My purpose here is to reconnoiter Garlean activity along Abalathia's spine. Owing to this, I have the honor of being acquainted with Y'shtola. Now, the report of the Imperial airship's emergency landing came to us by way of Dismail Darkhold, situated to the west. Our man stationed at the entrance, a knight named Bryselt, may be able to tell you more. So as to expedite your mission, I shall furnish you with a letter of introduction. I pray that you will soon be reunited with your comrades. May the Fury grant you strength. For some reason, I always choose to pronounce that word comrades, though it can also be comrades. I think that's just like a dialect accent thing, and I just sort of assume that everybody in this game has the dialect that would say comrades. Once we get to Heavensward and the entire voice cast shifts, everyone is going to become slightly more British. So, get used to that also. Get ready for that also. I think British? I don't remember exactly where the voice acting people are. You stand before the Dismail Darkhold, the subterranean fortress excavated by the great Ishgardian house of the same name. None but authorized personnel may enter. A letter from Lord Portelaine. So you've come about the Imperial airship. According to our scouts, the vessel had scarce touched the ground when a pair of men, captives by all accounts, burst forth and bolted. Imperial soldiers have been sighted in the area, seeking to recapture them. The captives are like to be your friends, you say, and let us pray that they are yet a step ahead of their pursuers. The emergency landing reportedly took place near the Aurum Vale, situated south and west of here. I suggest you take your search there. Seek out a knight named Piermon. He should be able to assist you. Still a bit of runaround, but at least not as much. That is true sometimes. There are raids in this game. We will have to do 3 of them. At least. It's funny how they make you walk near these dungeons that you've already done, possibly twice or more, to make you think like, oh no, am I gonna have to do this dungeon again? But I don't think we do. The Imperial airship. I saw it approach to land with mine own 2 eyes. I hastened to the landing site, arriving just in time to see the vessel take off to the skies again, but not before it deployed a detachment of troops. Gruff orders were being barked. There was an air of consternation about them. Well, Wedge is dead in this thumbnail. Maybe. Or maybe he's just leaning over, actually. There were prisoners aboard the airship, it seems, and they seized the opportunity to flee when the vessel was forced to land. The Garleans who were deployed formed search parties and proceeded to scour the wilderness. In order to alert our forces, I returned to my post to find evidence that someone had been here in my absence. Whoever they were, they tried the door to no avail and decided to go elsewhere. In all, I marked 2 sets of footprints, one large and one small. If you search the area, mayhap you'll be able to follow the prints to their owners. Alright, time to roll survival. Finally, my my proficiency in that skill is going to pay off. Just kidding, this has a DC of 0. You always see the footprints. Look, they're even sparkling. Wait a second. Sucro doesn't leave footprints. My Chocobo does, sometimes. Oh wait, I do leave footprints, okay. It just had to be slightly deep snow. It's fine. I'm not some sort of weird cryptid or anything. I'm a cat. Actually, cats are kind of cryptids. In some ways, so maybe I am. Also, I'm like a virtual ghost sort of entity over here in the corner, so, you know, like, totally not a cryptid, is what I'm saying. Nothing suspicious here. Also, I'm only seeing one set of footprints, and they're pretty, like, normal sized. They're not even... Ahem, once again interrupted. I'm going to have to go very soon. I like how every time I switch back over to this scene, all of the bits that I've ever been given fall into this cup, even though I'm never given any very often. I don't think I'll be able to, like, do the rest of this, actually. But I will look at some more footprints until I am prompted to do something else. Search under the bridge. Well, I guess that's the prompting to do something else. We'll take a look. What do you mean under the bridge? Oh. Well, there's Wedge. And that'll have to wait until next time, because, I need to go, actually. Sorry about that. So, rather than, going to the inn, I guess we're gonna take a little nap here. That's the power of a cat, to take a nap anywhere. So, yeah, until next time, thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate your continued support. If you would like to support me in other ways, you can look below the stream to find a variety of links and stuff that you might click on. And of course, you can spread the word, you can, I don't know. You're already supporting me as it is, and I appreciate you all. But yeah, I hope everyone has a good night. Sorry for the abrupt ending, but sometimes that's just the way life is. Wow, that actually sounds kind of dire. Have a good night. Bye.